So the Carnival Mardi Gras arrives in Port Canaveral this morning. And did we get an answer from Christine Duffy on whether or not Carnival is going to be doing vaccinated cruises or not? Let's find out right after this. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. Now before we get started, if you would do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It's free to do so, allows our channel to grow, and helps us to continue bringing you cruising content, just like this story we're about to bring. So the Carnival Mardi Gras did arrive in Port Canaveral this morning to much excitement, much fanfare, with everybody anticipating her eventual return to cruising. Once she tied up to the pier, President and CEO of Carnival Cruise Line, Christine Duffy, did an interview with Good Morning America, where she was specifically asked about the vaccination policy of Carnival Cruise Lines and how they were going to be handling vaccine passports. I'm going to go ahead and play that interview here for you now so you can hear it directly from the boss's mouth.
Well, we are all anxious to see that day of that ship there take off with passengers on it. So walk us through your COVID policy, how all of this is going to work. Are passengers, adults, and kids going to need to be vaccinated in order to get on board?
Well, you know, we've continued to work with CDC and other federal agencies on exactly what requirements we have to be able to restart cruising. And while there is a path for unvaccinated, we really don't think that the protocols will work to allow us to deliver the guest experience that we want to be able to do. So I think right now it does look like people will have to be vaccinated. But again, the great news is 50% of the country, adults, have been vaccinated. We've seen such progress made in short order, so we're still hopeful that we'll be able to further evolve and see these guidelines that will allow, especially families sailing with children under 12 who are not eligible to get a vaccine.
So walk us through what happens with those families with kids under 12 right now. Well, will those kids who aren't vaccinated allowed to be on board?
Well, we're still working through that with CDC. And again, while we don't have any definitive answers today that we can share, we are optimistic that we'll eventually be able to welcome, of course, all of our families with kids on board.
And how will passengers prove that they've been vaccinated?
Well, we're working with some technology that may allow passengers to upload their vaccine information ahead of the cruise. But there's always the old-fashioned way where people will arrive at the terminal and have to show their proof of vaccination.
All right, and there you go. Now, she did use the word not definitive. She did not 100% commit that this is exactly how it's going to be, because if you've been watching anything with the cruise news recently, you know things are changing every day, every week, every month, and God knows how it'll be next week. But it does sound like, directly from her right now, that Carnival Cruise Lines may be starting with fully vaccinated cruises and coming up with a technology, or working with a technology, that would allow passengers to upload their vaccination passport, vaccination status, however you want to call it, to the cruise line prior to sailing. That may be an indication of how they're going to be able to get around the laws in Florida. But of course, we all know that is the state where it is currently illegal for businesses to ask people about their vaccination status. So if you're able to upload it to the cruise line's website prior to arriving in Florida, that may be the way around that law. Now, she did also indicate that this would just be a way to start, just a way to get going, get the cruise ships back out there, and as things continue to evolve, they would continue to move forward with cruises that are unvaccinated. And Carnival does have test sailings coming up here later this month, so that is obviously a path they are pursuing as well. But like a lot of the cruise lines that have cruises coming up in less than a month, some of the specific protocols for these cruises are still missing. We're still waiting to hear. Still not 100% sure how everything's going to be and exactly how everything's going to work, but we're keeping our eye out for that information. All right, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, let's give it a thumbs up. Have yourself a great day, and we will see you out on the high seas.